Hello, my name is Robert Dean Steele, and this is your daily Bible class. We're looking now at Revelation chapter 13. Listen to what it says here in verse number 1. It says, I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 horns, and 7 heads with 10 horns, and upon his horns were 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like a leopard, and his feet were like a bear, and his mouth as a lion, the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him power, and his seat, and his great authority. So here we have, rising out of the sea, a beast. And this beast has basically 7 heads and 10 horns. Again, scholars say that this is most likely the son of the first beast. That was the one that, of course, came out of the abyss. And so what happens is now scholars also say, and people also say, that this is most likely 7 leaders that will come out of this confederation. Now, many believe that this could be the revised Roman Empire. Well, we do know that it will be a 10-nation confederacy led by the dragon and also as well by the beast. And it also says that this confederacy will have 10 crowns. So there'll be 10 authorities or 10 leaders that will support this beast. And it says, and upon his name, or what he was doing, was, of course, blasphemy. And when we talk about blasphemy, we're obviously talking about against the Lord and against the people of God. And this individual will probably lift himself up. But let's follow this for a moment. Then he says, I saw a beast, which was like a leopard, and his feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth was like the mouth of a lion. Now listen to what it says. And the dragon gave him power, and his seat and great authority. So we have this image of this beast, and this beast is like a leopard. Now, in the ancient world, lepers basically were associated with speed and with might. And so many think that this has to do with the warfare of this particular beast, that this beast would have complete authority in the area of warfare, and in the speed in which it attacks its adversaries or foes would be monumental. Secondly, it says it has the feet of a bear. Now, a bear, of course, has claws and the ability to crush any particular animal that comes in its way. And so we have a confederation or a group of individuals led by this beast that has military might, that has speed, and also the ability to crush anyone. And then lastly, of course, it says the mouth of a lion. And if you're ever on the African savannah and hear the mouth or the roar of a lion, it sends chills down your back. And so it also has the power of intimidation. So this beast, this creature, has, of course, speed. It has the ability to crush, and also as well, it has the power to intimidate. And then it says, and the dragon, that is, of course, as we learned last time, was Satan, has the power gave him power and his seat and his authority. That means that he gave him the power, he gave him the authority, and he gave him as well the place to dwell. And that is where the dragon comes in. Then it says, and then I saw one of its heads as it was wounded to death, and the deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered or followed after the beast. Now, most believe, of course, that this is the Antichrist. And the Antichrist will be killed or mortally wounded. And in front of the whole world, this wound will heal. Most people believe that there will be an assassination attempt, and the assassination attempt will succeed. But then in front of everyone, this Antichrist, this beast, will rise up, and the whole world will be astounded, and they will actually believe that he is, an immortal type of creature. It's basically what we would call a counterfeit of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Remember, Satan always counterfeits what God does. And so this mortal wound that slays this Antichrist, this beast, will be healed, and all the world will follow after him. And it says in verse number 4, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like the beast, and who is able to make war against him? So the result of this particular wound is that they will worship Satan. They will worship the Antichrist system. They will say, obviously, this is the greatest power of all. Now, remember this. The fact is that up to this point, we've had the two witnesses, we've had all these judgments, and so the world already hates anything associated with God. And when this dragon, this power behind the beast, and he'll even say who it is, and he'll even say, this is the individual that has raised me up. The people will worship the dragon, they will worship Satan, and they will worship the Antichrist. They will say, truly he is the Messiah, truly there is no one like him. And that's what they'll say. Who is like this individual? Who is able to make war with him? No one is going to be able to overcome him. That's what they're going to be saying. The whole world is going to be following after this individual. And there was given to him a mouth speaking great things. Great boasts will come out, but also as well blasphemy. And they'll be talking about the things of God. They'll be talking about how God is weak, how God is inane, that God is absolutely nothing, that this individual and the power behind him, which of course is the dragon, they will continue doing this. And they will speak many things. And it says power will be given to them for 42 months, for basically 3.5 years. They will have the ability to do this. Now, we've already had 3.5 years. This will be the last 3.5 years of the tribulation period. Remember, the tribulation period is 7 years. Okay, and so we have this next 3.5 years where it will be the rule of the dragon. It'll be the rule of the Antichrist, and also as well another individual, of course, that will come up very quickly. It says, and he opened his mouth, verse number 6, and came blasphemies against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and those who dwelled in the tabernacle. So basically, they are speaking, and they're speaking against God, against his temple, and they that dwell even in all of heaven. They'll say, you know what? This God is, weak, and this God has no power, and they'll say all kinds of things against them. And then remember as well, by this time the temple is rebuilt. We'll find that out a little later in the chapter. And it says, and those who dwell in heaven. So they'll speak against the Lord, they'll speak against his temple, and every spiritual being as well. They'll say anything associated with this God is weak. Anything that is associated with this God is powerless. We are powerful. They are nothing. And that's what they'll say. And it was given to them to make war with the saints and overcome them. And the power was given to him over all kinds of tongues and nations and people group. So this particular individual who is empowered by Satan will have the ability to overcome the saints, overcome the people of God, be able to, the protection up to this point that has been given to certain individuals will now be taken away, and this individual, whoever he is, wherever he comes from, because there's lots of speculation. Some people say he's a Jew. Some people say he's from Europe. Some people have even said he's a Muslim, a follower of Islam. But we do know this, that whoever this individual is, he will be empowered by Satan himself. And he will be given power or rulership over all the people over everyone who speaks in the entire world and over nations as well. All of this is going to happen in the second 3.5 years of the tribulation period. Now, we're going to continue on with Revelation chapter 13 tomorrow. My name is Robert Dean Steele. This is your daily Bible class. You have yourself a great and godly day.